the table. Nice into 15. Oh, and very late.
Information about ice box. The length of the ice box is 1 minute, ice box time 1 minute. Now, starting order of skeleton heat number 2. Ausfall der Austria, Sarah Schmidt, Switzerland, Dara Zulte, Estonia, Valentina Magaglio, Italy, Marta Haja, Latvia, Julia Belger, Austria, Capital Stoker.
Attention info, icebox, 1 minute before each upper of the single.
Especially ladies, please take a little start. Wenn ihr demonstriert ungefähr, während durch Champions mit der Letzte, ihr geht das mit richtiges Champions minus.
Uzmanību trasē, visiem atliekot trase, attention on the track, everybody get it right please. Apply līdz startam. 2 minūtes, 2 minutes.
Race 4 of the IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup, and as evening falls in Sigulda in Latvia, it is the final race for the women, the final heat for the women of 2025 before a well-deserved almost 2 weeks off before we head into the second half of the season. 25 sleds from our 31 starters get to go in the second heat, and we have an interesting battle for supremacy. Yesterday's winner was Kim Marmans of Belgium. She is not in the top 3. She's 700s behind the bronze medalist at the moment, Anna Fernstedt, and the Czech slider looking for another World Cup medal. It would be her first on this track. A really good first heat for her, leaves her 2400s off the lead, but only 600s behind the silver medalist after the first run at Kimberly Boss. Boss, the winner last year. She's had another couple of medals on this track. In fact, a silver and 2 bronze medals, as well as her gold. She's in good form, but she's 1800s behind the leader. Our 3-time race winner, our 5-time medalist on this track, Janine Flock. She was the bronze medalist yesterday, silver medalist last year, and has won 3 in a row here. This is a very happy hunting ground for Janine Flock, and she leads going into the final heat of 2025. But the gaps are small as ever on this track. Kim Marmans not out of the hunt, and Amelia Coltman, what about her? She might have a great chance, and Freya Tarbet, a top 6 finish would certainly be redemption after crashing down to 25th place in the second heat yesterday. Lots of work to do for some of those further back, like Tabby Stoker, down in 19th place, had a tough end to what looked like it was going to be a very good first run. And the 25 completed by Austria's Anna Saulitter, so no second heat for Kendall Wessenberg and Sarah Roderick of the USA, or for the local heroine Data Nymana, but her teammate did make it through. So 25 to go here in Sigulda. Martin Haven and Tuffy Latour watching the action with you. And there's Janine Flock, 3 wins on this track, and she looked in her imperious best in the first heat as well, Tuffy.
Yeah, prime Janine form. 25th at the start, first at the bottom. Just an outstanding run by Janine, but a star-studded field here today for this second heat.
Only 2 of the top 10 finishes in the first heat had a start within the top 10. Everybody else, Hallie Clark is 9th, 20th, 25th, 21st, 12th, 24th, 14th and 25th.
Yeah, it's a driver's track for sure.
Yeah, only Kim Marsmans and Corinna Leopold started in the top 10 quick getaways and managed to carry that speed down to the bottom of the track. So it's how you build it, not how you start it. Well, there is the order of the start. Janine will be last away, and as we saw yesterday evening in the first women's race of the weekend, the track will slow up dramatically. So early ice is a benefit for Anna Saulitter of Austria. 25th place off a 5:34 start. Now let's see if she can improve.
Yeah, good load onto the sled. 5:34, so tied her first heat. She heads down 2 into 3 into 4.
Didn't make the cut here yesterday. She was only 28, so a big improvement overnight.
Yeah, and that actually looks better than her first heat. 92.3 speed, a little tap in the 12. She's going to be a little late off of 13.
We saw her pick up her head up quickly out of 12 to see where she was.
Yeah, 112 speed. Takes that flop off, but okay down in the 16.
Well, she's about 4 miles an hour slower than the fastest sleds were in the first heat. 69 miles an hour compared to 73 and change. 52.6 compared to 53.0. So a 0.4 of a second improvement. And part of that will be her start draw. 22nd out of the field of 31. Track will have been pretty frosty. And she's got nice, smooth, freshly polished ice, or freshly spritzed ice at least, in the second heat.
Yeah, I see her height here, and 12 is okay. But if she pulls her head up, like you pointed out, Mark, and then taps that wall in late, on that first steer, and then late coming off of 13, flops off there. You can see too early in the 14.
Yeah, that's not steering, that's just getting thrown from 13.
Thrown through the
I mean,
corner.
you always are, but how you come off 13 is decided by how you came off 11, basically. So it's the end of a sequence of tough corners. 13 fastest at the start, Sarah Schmidt, and 24th at the bottom. And one of the younger sliders, one of the less experienced sliders in the field. Junior World Championship bronze medalist here a couple of years ago. Previous best result, 22nd. So she needs to improve a couple to improve on that.
5:07.
Wow.
Big time improvement. 900s faster at the start.
That's very impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 5:07 is a really good start here. She's 5,200s up. And see if she can build on that as she heads down into 10. She's losing a little bit to Anna. Anna had a decent run. She's going to be late as well in 13. See if she can handle this. Ooh, takes that tap on the right side, left side.
Speed's not great, but she has an advantage. It was 0.4 of a second. It should be 1/4 of a second at the line. She'll have the lead. 3,100, so she held on to it just down at the bottom, where Anna Saulita was getting a little wilder. Now, Sarah Schmidt didn't even make the cut yesterday, so that's an improvement on yesterday's result, and she'll be pleased with that to come back the next day and go better.
Yeah, she should be pleased with that start. That was an outstanding start for the second heat.
A little bit of applause from the crowd down there. 5:16 first heat.
Late on that drive in 11, late off the exit, comes over, taps that wall. Coming through 13, you can see she's going to be late and drops a runner and too early into 14. Almost the same thing that Anna did right before. It's a really tough transition, 13 to 14 for all sliders.
And the mistakes, happy Christmas to you as well. The mistakes are amplified because it's such a short track and the gaps between the athletes are so tiny. Data Zunta next up for Estonia. Data, born and bred in Latvia, started her sliding career for the Latvian team on this track. She had a good start draw yesterday, 12th in the order. Further back in 29th place, finished 17th yesterday. Her career best World Cup result.
5:18, ties her first heat.
And although they only sprint for 30 meters twice a day, it's a very physical track. It still takes it out of you. These athletes were dead tired at the end of the day yesterday.
Yeah, so she's 1,200s back, leading in 1,300s, second fastest speed. Good entry in the 13. She's going to come off better. She should start to pull away now. 1,100s, much better entrance down to 15. 113 speed as she heads uphill into 16. She's got the lead.
Nails the quick corners and across the line. 2,500s up, 52.21. 7,100s better than her first heat. Now, some of that will be adapting to the conditions today better, just feeling more confident with the sled. Some of that, maybe as much as half a second of it, is going to be that the track is not as frosty as it was in her first run.
Yeah, when she was 29th off. So
Yeah.
Third off this heat. Good run by her. A few little tweaks here and there would have made it a superb run. Takes this tap going down into 12. But out of 15 here, you can see that experience paying off. Comes around 15, right down into 16.
Some good support on this Friday afternoon for Data Zunta of Estonia. Next up, Valentina Margalio. And again, we talked about the top 10 not having the fastest starts. Well, the fastest starters aren't necessarily in the top 10. Valentina, 5:01, second fastest start in the competition. And here she is down in 22nd place.
Let's see what Valentina can do here.
to go into Christmas, I would just love her to have one really convincing slide just to clear the water.
Wow, 498.
There is no question that athletically she is as good as anyone and as she has ever been. But what has happened to the sliding program?
So far, it's a decent run for. She's building on that speed, the fastest speed. She can keep going from here. Take that tap into 12, a little late into 13. She's going to come off late. And that skid down into 13, 15. Once you hurt her, she's going to come back up on the end.
Yeah, it's all going away in the quick corners. She needed to be about a second quicker to make a really big jump up the order. And she drops behind Data Zunta, 52.36. Not only does she not go up, she goes back one.
Yeah, she just had that tough transition, 12, 13, 14.
She lost half a second to the Estonian slider in the second half of the run. Now, half a second is obviously a tiny amount of time, but it's a lifetime in this sport.
Yeah, it's so tough on the body. You can see her coming down here out of 15. She gets pulled back up a little bit on the exit. See, too early off, and you know that that sled's going to come back up. Not that bad of a flop off there, but that just bleeds the speed as you're heading uphill there. And then late in the 16, and that's a tough transition in the 16.
Physically battered and bruised, but after a year and a half of being lost, she's got 8 weeks to get her mojo back for the games. Now for Latvia, Marta Ansana, one of our 2 youth Olympians in the Latvian program. Had a good run yesterday, finished in 21st place, had a better run today in the first heat, 21st again.
5.26 start.
Finished in 5th in the Youth Olympics. Younger brother Mattis is also sliding at the age of 15, so the teenagers we've seen already in World Cup for Latvia, there's some backup behind them as well.
See this exit, nice transition, good form down in the 15, fastest speeds we've seen. Oh.
Just hanging it out for speed, and that's where it was all just about to come back to her. She drops down the order, and she is 4th of our 5 sliders.
Yeah, she's doing great up to that point.
So a whisker quicker than her first heat. But that could have seen her into the leader's box, and she's cursing herself, either because she trusted it and she was wrong to do so, or she didn't trust it and she was wrong to do so. But you've got to learn, and she has got a lot of years in front of her, just 17 years old.
Yeah, it's too high too early in 15. You see her coming down, and she's got no place to go but back up. Yeah, you can see coming around, she got her head buried, but just kicks her off the sled.
Well, she's not even looking. She just got the steer on, and she's letting it fly.
Yeah, and Coach Ivo Steinbergs knows that.
Yeah. All right. Lots more years on ice ahead of her, potentially. So 5 down, 20 to go here in Sigulda. And we get to one of the fastest starters in the field, Julia Erlacher. Yesterday, starting in the 4s, 4.99, and her first heat, a 5.04. And it's that precious gift of experience that carries the start speed all the way to the finish line. That's what she needs more of, because, boy, she's got the pace.
Yeah, looks like another good start, 5.03.
So a little steer from 1 down to 2. She's carrying more speed into turn 1 than she can handle, and she's bleeding most of her start advantage away before she even gets to the labyrinth.
Yeah, just not a cleanup in the first 4 corners. Down to 3,200s down, 6 fastest speed. This is the important part of the track. She come out at 14 clean. She can manage that deficit. Oh, fastest speeds. She did something right through 13, 14.
Rough exit out of 15, but she's got enough speed to lead at the line. 1700. It's not a lifetime, but it's enough to take the lead from Dartasunta of Estonia.
Yeah, and that was an important run for her to stay in, maintain that position at least.
1, 2, 3, 4, always so easy to give away speed when you're going so slowly. There's no centrifugal force to keep the sled pressed to the ice. It skids too easily. By the time she comes out of 14, she's back on target. And it was only really the late exit out of 15 that kicked her sideways. That stopped her having around 3/10 at the line.
She's coming down and catching that little bit on the exit. And that's caught quite a few sliders. You really need to push that height around 15, and to get tied too early, you come out too soon.
She really recovered her composure well, didn't she? So it is the lead for Julia Erlacher of Austria, and she was tied in 19th place with Great Britain's Tabby Stoker. And Tabs started 600s faster, 498 in the first heat, the fastest starter. But like Freya Tarbit yesterday, had trouble in the bottom corners.
5:03.
All right, so just 500 slower, same start time as Julia Erlacher. And the key for Tabby is not to think too much about the first run, just to focus on doing what she knows she can do here.
She's really smooth up top.
And she'll come back from the red and into the green.
Yeah, she's having a good run. 5th fastest speed. Nice exit in 11 into 12, 12 into 13.
Not quite as tidy as her first heat, but good out of 14. Long skid though. That lead is going away. She's on the wrong side coming into 15. It's a cleaner exit. 3rd best speed. It's not going to put her in the top 10, but it will give her the lead. Only just, oh my goodness. Separated by 200s over 2 runs down the track. Tabby Stoker just ahead of Julia Erlacher. And that was not the smiley runs that she had yesterday on her way to silver.
Yeah, see, that was good there. 13 looks nice. She comes out of 14. It looks like she's got it. And then just the sled breaks from her, and it breaks the opposite direction she wants to go. And you can see that bunk digging into the sidewall and just losing speed. Pushes that height around 15. A little tap as she goes down into 16. Up and then down, I should say.
All right, a better day at the office yesterday for Tabby Stoker. She leads narrowly over Julia Erlacher as we get to Kelly Curtis of the USA. 18th place behind teammate Mystique Rowe, and they were tied for 15th position yesterday.
Let's see if Kelly can improve on that 5:19. 5:17.
All right, a couple of hundreds faster. She and Mystique were only 400s apart after the first heat. They were absolutely tied to the hundreds yesterday.
Takes that tap out of 3. She's 700s behind right now. Got to clean it up here to be ahead at the bottom. 7th fastest speed.
Kelly Curtis and Mystique Rowe battling with Katie Ulender, who's been racing in North America's Cup and Asian Cup, accruing points for positions on the pecking order for the Olympics.
And Kelly skid from 14 to 15 and is losing some time.
A lot of time. Drops set to 6th position.
Shows you how important that exit of 14 is.
Yep. Well, there's no track here, no corner on this track that's without consequence, but you really notice it down at the bottom because the speed just evaporates.
Yeah, you're trying to be as smooth as you can as you come off and on and off those first 14 corners, and then there's 2 long straightaways after that. So you've got to be just perfect down into the curve 15.
Nothing up until then. You're on narrow country lanes, and then suddenly you hit 2 bits of highway.
Yes.
And you've got to hit them straight.
The sled just breaks away. The same thing that happened to Tabitha.
Yeah. Well, Kelly drops to 6th position. 4,700s back.
Yeah, such a tough track here in Sigulda.
Yeah. And nothing happens in isolation. There was even a little bump there on the sidewall she managed to clip. When it's not your day, it really isn't. So Mystique Rowe then, let's see what she can produce. Again, Mystique, another quick starter, 5:02, 3rd fastest in the first heat. And if it was just a push start championship, she'd be in the medals pretty much every day. It's carrying that speed.
5:02.
Another excellent getaway. I mean, not only is she fast, she's relentlessly fast.
So she's cleaner up top. See if she can build on that speed, 2200s.
She had 2/10 over Tabby Sturka from the first heat. Tabitha was 5th fastest at this stage, so Mystique is losing ground to the current leader. Needs to be clean below 14.
Yeah, if she can melt into the sled here, she's tied. Speed.
Hits the woodwork.
Oh,
and
speak.
an even worse crash off 15 than Freya Tarbit yesterday.
Yeah, turn 15 is giving a lot of people trouble.
Yeah, and wow, that will have been painful. Yeah. 54.86. They all know what it feels like to crash, and nobody likes to see it. And she was upside down there on the ice at 70 miles an hour plus. That's a big impact.
Yes. You see, she's coming late in the 15. She gets high too early to the roof.
Yeah.
And you're just down too soon, and you've got no place else to go but back up.
She just avoided the woodwork there, but that was just the line she had going in.
Yeah, and all that momentum throwing your body over. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. And watch what she leaves behind her. She leaves a polished mark down the track where her body was. That shows you already how much frost is on the track.
Yeah.
That her back polished it up. Tough break for Mystique Rowe as she drops to the tail of the field. Now for Jane Channel, Dad watching at the finish line. 5:10, still the 7th fastest starter in the field, Jane.
5:12.
Yeah, another great getaway. And so much experience under the runners of her sled.
Looks to be a clean top. 6 corners. Let's see what the speed is. 6th fastest speed, 1500s in the lead. Late off of 11 with a hard hit.
Was 2900s ahead of Tabitha Sturka from the first heat. It's less than half of that now. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Only the 10th best speed. Sturka was fastest there. And she too is in free fall. She's going to drop behind Data Zunta. No, she doesn't. Just squeezes in front of the Estonian by 100. Tabby Sturka looks like the last thing she wants to do is stand in the leader's box, but every single one of these places she picks up is valuable World Cup points, and that is going to affect who gets selected to go to the games, how many sleds each nation has, and what your starting draw is. Every passing minute in the leader's box is vital.
And I see Jane miss that entry steer, and then late on the exit, she comes out of 14. The sled really wants to break away to the right side, but she controls it well. But by that point, she'd already lost all of her speed.
So 10 sleds down and 15 to go. Tabby Stoker, the leader, from Julia Erlacher and Jane Channel. 15th after the first of 2 heats, race 4 of the IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup in Sigulda, Li Yuqi of China. Started 8th fastest, finished 15th at the bottom. Nice clean load and a 5.11, same as her first getaway. Nice and quiet through corner 1 and 2.
You can see she's driving a little bit too much in 3. She's 1200s up. Through the labyrinth, nice and smooth. 600s, only the 8th fastest speed. A little late into 12, but she made a good correction. 13 to 14 looks okay. 14.
Is she going to be in the red? She is in the red. She needs a good exit out of 15. Gets one. Might have enough to close. Going to be within 100th or 2 at the line. 900s up, 52.42. I was just about to say, is what we're seeing with Tabby Stoker what we saw with Lee yesterday? 20th in the first heat. She had the last of the good ice, really, and a good run to push her up to 10th place. And it looked as though Tabby Stoker might do the same, but Lee just crept back in front.
Yeah, good load onto the sled. She really made up her time in turn 14 to 15 and 15 to 16 in those straightaways. A little hard on that entry steer. We can see right here, she's just got good control of the sled, melts into it, and really lets that sled run down into 15.
And again, she needs to move up the order. She needs these points because she's only the 4th Chinese slider in the IBSF points. 2 non-World Cup sliders are ahead of her. Now, for Nicole Silveira of Brazil, just 300s in front of Li Yuqi after the first heat. And she will start over a 10th slower. 5:25 first heat compared to 5:11 of Li. If everything was as easy as just how fast you run, then the sport would be a very different thing. 5:23, she fives another couple of hundreds over her first start. So she's a whisker closer.
Yes, looks like a better run up top for her already. 10th behind. Nice through the labyrinth. 4th fastest speed, so good speed for her start. Good entry into 13.
Skidding a little more than she would like.
Yeah.
Still not making up much ground. 700s up.
Oh,
and again,
good speed.
Yeah, too high too early in 15. Couldn't control it on the exit. She'll go back into the red by the line. No, she doesn't. All right, excellent recovery.
Actually made a great recovery on the exit of 15 and keep that sled steady. She went late into 16, but...
Richard Bromley applauding that with a big smile on his face. His athlete really corrected well and did not panic. Good work from Nicole Silveira. She was high early in 15. Not a bad exit out of 14. Kept it straight.
Yeah, and she looked good going down in. I think she takes a tap right before. Yeah, she comes down a little bit too early and then catches that.
Second wave.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah, a little bit of scorpion going on there.
And then
yeah, big height in 16. Big waves in 16.
And that's that late entrance in the beginning of 16.
That's a proper Altenberg Kreisel wave there, isn't it, going on? All right, so Nicole Silveira leads for Brazil, and next up is Xiao Dan, China's top point scorer at the moment. And Dan, 8th, 20th, and 13th this season.
Good load onto the sled. 5:26.
Right, not as quick as her first heat, 5:21, so she needs to make up for that on the way down, because she's only dead level now with Nicole Silveira. There was nothing between them, 0.03 of a second in it.
So far, so good. 10 down into 11. 11 fastest speed.
Bit of work.
13 looks good.
Working on the exit of 11, but keeping the speed alive. Good 14 exit down to 15 is impressive. Clean out of 15. How far back? 1800s. Probably not going to get it at the line. She'll be close, but not enough. No. So Nicole Silveira somehow made speed at the bottom compared to those around her, despite that dramatic exit out of 15. No wonder Richard Bromley was smiling like a Cheshire cat. Ha ha! My run has worked.
Yeah, I can see her here at the start. Maybe a little bit of a stumble as she got on.
Yeah, it looks like she just sort of overreached herself almost.
Yeah.
Fell onto the sled as opposed to launched herself onto it.
Yeah, 500 slower at the start. That's 1500s at the bottom. And right here, she handles that well, 15 into 16.
And drops behind her teammate Li Yuqi. So the battle of the Chinese continues. Next up for Italy, Alessandra Fumagalli. Our second dead heat. We had a tie for 19th place. We have a tie for 11th. Alessandra tied the time set by Susanne Kreher of Germany. Susanne, her sled is next up, but Alessandra goes first.
5:13 the first heat. Let's see if she can better that.
5:14, but right in the same margin. And she is fast developing this season into Italy's #1 slider. Alessia Crippa tore her tendons really badly just pre-season in the training week in Cortina. She's out for the year. Valentina Margaglio has not been able to break her slump. So Fumagalli is the last man standing, if you like. She's certainly the top Italian at the moment.
Well, she's late in the entrance of 13, but handles that exit well. Takes the tap and just melts into that sled.
Only the 8th best speed. She'll be in the red.
And late down into 16, middle in.
Not a bad 16. Touches the wall, though, on the way across the line. 52-52. Tina, the Olympic mascot, joining Nicole Silveira in the booth. In the leader's box. As Alessandra Fumagalli slips just 500s back. Now, 4 of the next 5 sleds are from Germany, but the home nation for the next games, Italy. Alessandra Fumagalli not able to hang on to her spot. So second place, Fumagalli with 11 to go. She was 18th yesterday. She's had a 9th, a 13th and an 18th this season. At the moment, she is on for a personal best in Sigulda. So Susanne Kreher, 2023 world champion, finished in 7th place yesterday. Her best on this track has been a top 5 finish. And she was 11th in the first heat, and the tail end of the 4 Germans in this tightly packed field.
See where her start is. 5:14, so 400's better.
Yep. And nice and quiet through corner 1 and down to 2. Those are the only straights until you get out of 14.
Yeah, it takes a tap before 4. 5 to 6 looks okay. She's threading down through the labyrinth. 13th fastest speed, though.
Nice smooth run so far, but not with the speed she needs.
No.
Lead coming down to next to nothing.
6th fastest out of 15 into 16. She might be able to hold on to.
Yep.
Going to come down to the 100th.
Uses the clean exit to drive her way a little faster. It's kind of late in the run, 16, to be like horseshoe, but if you can use that height and drive out clean, it does help you accelerate uphill towards the finish line. So Suzanne Creyer takes lead away from Nicole Silveira. Nicole had picked up a couple of spots and lies second with 10 to go. So Nicole Silveira will equal her best on this track again today. 12th yesterday, she'll be no worse than 12th. If somebody tumbles down the order now, then Nicole gets a PB. Suzanne always looks just a little sheepish when the camera comes to her. 10 to go, 15 down. Suzanne Creyer leads from Nicole Silveira and Alessandra Fumigali. A little change up between Li Yuqi and Xiao Dan. They sort of met in the middle and Li just crept in front by a couple of hundreds. It's not germane going to affect the Chinese rankings because Dan was quite a long way ahead of Li in the overall IBSF points. Corinna Leipold at the block. This standard 2 minutes for commercials for networks is factored into everybody's race program, so you know if you're going in the top 10, there'll be a 2-minute gap, and so you still back time your appearance at the line so that you're fully warmed up and starting to already pitch your way down the track.
Yeah, absolutely. That 2 minutes goes quick as well. So you're standing up there, next thing you know, you're ready to go.
Well, they're down at the finish area. A few of our hardy fans out on a Friday evening. Late Friday afternoon, what's the time now? 4:20. Hard to tell because the sun goes down quite early. There's Martin Stukos, the greatest slider of all time. Chatting a bit of Latvian. with our social media cameraman getting in shot again. Leaving nothing on the table. Well, he's been in hospitality all afternoon. There's pretty much nothing left on the table at all.
Yes.
Christian Bauder, the coach there with the sled. And there is the elevated start floor, tower. It's 6 stories up. Martin Stukos did a little social media thing a couple of years ago, was talking about in the old days when he was young and the elevator used to break, they'd carry the sleds up the stairs, and I was thinking, oh wow, a skeleton sled, all right, that's 25 kilos. No, they meant the bobsleds. Yes. Up the stairwell. Yeah. And that's why the Latvians get it done, whatever it takes, because that's how they were bred. 15 down, 10 to go. Race 4 of the IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup, the 200th World Cup race for women's skeleton in Sigulda in Latvia. And in 10th place after our first heat, Corinna Leipold of Germany.
5:11, same as the first heat.
Yep, and 300s added to her slender advantage over teammate Suzanne Creyer, the current leader. So as she lies down, she's a 1/10 of a second in front.
Takes a little brush going into 4. 900's up.
Finished 9th yesterday. A double winner on this track.
1500's, 9th fastest speed. Missed that first drive in 11. A little late off of 13, but handles it well.
Nice exit of 14. Good run down into 15. That's going to help with the speed.
And nice and clean down into 16. Good entrance into 16.
So was a teammate. This could be very close at the line. 300s in it. So she guarantees herself a top 10 finish. Corinna Leipold, 9th yesterday. Can she pick off one more? Well, 2 of the next 3 are own teammates. Both have been world champions and an Olympic champion. So both have been Olympic medalists.
See, she misses that drive in 11, comes up on the exit, hangs on that exit and gets pushed over, taps the wall going into 12. A little late in 13, but she manages it. Just holds on to that sled, comes out of 14.
All right, She's ahead of one world champion. We've got an Olympic champion and another world champion. In fact, two more world champions in the next three sleds, because this is Hallie Clark, the 2024 world champion in women's skeleton.
Next on the start, Hallie Clark.
So Hallie still very young, but very quick. And she clearly has a good feel for the ice.
Yeah, good starter.
Yep. 300s is her first heat advantage over Corinna Leipold.
Same start, 5:22.
All right, so she lies down 800s behind. And she's 1100 slower at the start than Leipold.
Oh, and she's clean, down 3 in the 4. 5 in the 6 looks okay. See what the speed looks like going in the 10. 9th fastest speed. She's a 10th behind. Takes that tap.
No tidier than Leipold's run. In fact, a little untidier down through 13 and 14.
Yeah, it takes a hard hit out of 14.
And this is going to drop her behind the two Germans. And in danger of dropping as well behind Nicole Severa and Alessandra Fumagalli. And she drops a long way down, 4 tenths back, 52.83. So Hallie Clark tied with Julia Erlacher in 8th place with 8 still to go. And Hallie yesterday 19th, so she'll be no worse than joint 16th.
Yeah, a little late off at 13, which pushes her too high too early in 14. She hangs on that exit a little long, steers it off, and then hits the wall. It just, that type of hit, especially on this ice, and you can see the frost on the ice, it's just going to slow her down.
Yeah. Hug from Mum.
Yep.
Makes most things better.
Yeah.
She was 1 spot away from her personal best of 8th on this track, and she now drops down to potentially 16th. So for Hannah Neiser of Germany, our Olympic champion, what can she produce? 6th place yesterday. She has been a medalist before, bronze medal 2 years ago. It's hard to conceive that a medal is going to come from half a second back. But this is a strange sport.
Certainly is.
5:29 first heat, 5:29 second heat. So she gains nothing, loses nothing. And as with the next slider, Jacka Pfeiffer, for her it is about driving on the ice, not pushing on the ice.
Nice and clean, very smooth, 5 to 6. And she's already building up that speed that she needs. 700's back, 8 fastest speed.
It's quiet though, no scritching and scratching of toes dragging.
No, and she's nice and clean through these corners. Very nice, and she's in the lead.
Yeah, great exit out of 14, low in 15, but clean on the exit with the top speed. She's going to take the lead by a margin.
This is a good run.
Yes, it is. 2200s up, 52.35. Now, that's slower than her first heat by 3500s, but that is the way the track is running. So Hannah Neiser takes over in the leader's box from Corinna Leipold. She will go to Cortina in February to defend her Olympic title. And boy, are there going to be some contenders.
Yeah, look at this. She just is melted right into her sled. There's no movement. There's no toe tapping. Just really building that speed. You can see her come out of 15 and just really close to that right wall.
Yeah.
But just really lets the sled run middle into 16.
So Hannah Neiser has the lead of the race. We have 7 to go. First of whom is the top German slider after Heat 1, Jacka Pfeiffer, the 2017 world champion. 21st at the start, 7th at the bottom. That tells you everything you need to know about how she drives an ice track. And don't forget, after Christmas, when we hit the new year, Winterberg, her home track. Samaritz, the longest of them all, the biggest opportunity for the good drivers. And then Altenburg to round out the run into the games. 5:24 getaway, 100th quicker than her first heat.
That's a good improvement. And she's clean down 3 to 4, 5 to 6, nice and smooth. 1100's in the lead. Nice labyrinth. And the 6th fastest speed. But this late in the heat, not bad speed.
Making it all look pretty straightforward. Exit of 14 will be the decider. It's a good one. 800's up, she'll carry the speed. Not the best.
No, it'll be close at the line.
Oh, it will be close at the line. Hannah Neisser might have this. Jacka was only 100th up and goes back by 400ths of a second. Neisser somehow found more speed at the bottom. And Jacka was only 200ths in front of her. Hannah Neisser 600ths faster in the second heat.
Yeah, Hannah was a little cleaner. Out of 14 down into 15 and really built that speed.
I didn't quite hear what she was saying there, but clearly one corner got her. I think maybe exit 11, 11-12 transition. This is out of 14. Maybe not quite as perfect as Hannah Neisser.
Yeah, slight skid,
Yeah.
and Hannah was right down the middle.
She was on the right side going into 15, but not quite enough. Well, there'll be an awful lot of family and friends in Winterberg to greet her. Next up, Freya Tarbit. 1100's up on our current leader, Hannah Neisser. Next race in January, Winterberg. The home track for Jacqueline Lurling, Jackie Pfeiffer. 5:12 is the start, same as the first heat, so a top 10 start. And she was battling for 7th place yesterday in Heat 2 to improve on that when she crashed out of 15. Little tap 3 to 4.
Yeah, 3,400's up, but that tap will cost her a little bit of time. Let's see what this, 2,200's now, and only the 20th fastest speed.
Wow. All right, and another tap as well.
And
out of 11.
Late into 13, late exit.
Needs a good exit here, gets one, only 1100's up. Top 5 speed, not close. She is not going to hang on, I don't think. She's going to drop behind, has to steer into 16. 400's up and in the red by 300s. It wasn't enough with only the 9th best speed.
Yeah, those couple of taps up top just really hit the wall like that. The frost is growing on the side walls and just
slips into second with 5 to go. That's going to be an important big points finish for Freya Tarbit, especially after yesterday when she dropped from 7th to 25th. And that was on the exit here. She made sure she kept well away from that wall on the exit of 15.
Yeah, I can see right there, just that little movement side to side, that tap, that's 400s right there.
Yep. All right, a much better day in the office for Freya Tarbit today than yesterday. Tabby Stoker is there to greet her. And next, her teammate, Amelia Coltman, goes as we get to the top 5. And Amelia yesterday in 11th place, her best ever result in Sigulda, a 4th place finish. This is the track where not only has she done a lot of pre-season training, but where she made her World Cup debut as well, back in November 2020. 5:14, same as her first start. Nice and quiet, down to 2.
Let's see what 3-4 looks like. Nice.
Just steers it away from the wall.
3,300's up at this point.
Nice and quiet. You don't want to hear any noise from the sled apart from the rumbling of the runners.
29, so 15th fastest speed, so faster than teammate.
Yeah, a little.
Point.
But the gap is down from 33 to 2900s. It'll be in the teens here. Oh, it's not. She's holding on well. Ninth best speed isn't great. Clean enough out of 15. 1600s, that should be enough, shouldn't it, to take the lead? It is by 500s, 52.43. So Amelia Coltman hangs on to that speed just enough to dip at the line and take the lead away from the Olympic champion, Hannah Neisser.
Yeah, she maintained form in a couple places. It really kept that speed.
Debriefing there before they even start leaving the outrun.
Yeah, see right here, she holds on, pushes her away from 12, and she's really muscling it off of 14 there, but she's able to get it where she wants to be and then just relaxes at this point.
See where her gaze is on that left-hand wall going into 15. The sled follows the eyes.
Yep.
All right, Amelia Coltman leads, 4 to go. And here is our World Cup points leader. Yesterday's race winner put Kim Marmons ahead of Janine Flock in the World Cup rankings. And now she's 4th from the end. 3100s off the lead. Again, a gold seems unlikely from here, but who knows what the track's got for us. From the right-hand start groove, a 5:07 getaway, same as in the first heat. 5th fastest start in the competition.
Great start. Yeah, she's the fastest starter of these last 4. Takes a little tap out of 3 into 4. 1900s up. She wants to continue to build on that speed.
She's the fastest starter in the top 16 sleds after the first heat.
21st fastest start, speed.
All right, the gap's down to 1400s.
Let's see what Kim can do here.
She had 2 great trips yesterday. 8th best speed, not quite as quick as Amelia Coltman. Has she got enough? It is going to be super close. She was clean into 16. At the line, she does have the lead.
Good job by Kim.
All right, 5600 slower than the first heat. That's not the slider, that's the track changing.
Yeah, putting the pressure on the people in front of her now.
5th away at the start in the first heat, 4th from the end of the second heat. That's a lot of track evolution in between times.
Yeah, good load onto the sled. Gets her hands underneath her. Good exit of 14. Just really melts into that sled.
And it's the experience, Tuffy, to be able to know what the track has changed to so you can adapt your drive all the way down.
Yeah, Kim's got that experience.
All right, Kim Marmons the leader with 3 to go. Could this be a big day for Anna Fernstedt? Yesterday finished a career PB on this track, equaling 4th place. But she is in position to grab.
Look at that frost mark on the side. You can see it.
Can she grab a medal here?
Anna was a 5:26 the first heat.
All right, she's had a big start deficit to Kim Marmons. She'll give away nearly 0.2 of a second. 5:26 matches her first start. So she's got to outdrive yesterday's winner by 0.2 of a second to grab the medal.
And she's clean there, 3 to 4. 5 to 6 looks nice. And it's really nice through the labyrinth.
I'm not sure we've ever seen Anna slide better than she is at the moment.
And 11th fastest speed, so that's the fastest speed we've seen out of these top 10 sliders.
2100s back.
11. She is building it right now. Really nice 15.
All right, little late out of 15. Has she got the speed to take the medal? It's going to be very close indeed at the line. Oh, 800s back. Marmons is in the medals again. And Anna Fernstedt, 800s back in second place with 2 to go.
So close.
Leslie, we hear you from over here yelling at the TV. Her best friend in skeleton sliding, Leslie Stratton, will be watching, I know. You never wish ill on anybody, but she'll be hoping that one of the remaining 2 sleds just slips up a bit.
Yeah, still a great run by Anna.
Yeah. Well, up until today, 2 fourth-place finishes have been her best results on this track. It will be another PB equaling run from Anna Fernstedt if nothing changes.
Yeah, great form there. You know, 2/10 down at the start and only 8 at the bottom.
Yeah,
after 2 heats.
almost. Almost is right, but never say never. 2 to go. Kimberly Bos of the Netherlands. All right, not used to giving medals away, I'll give you that. World Championship winner in Lake Placid, Olympic bronze medalist in Beijing.
Let's see what Kim can do here at the start.
5:18 in the first heat. 5:15, all right, so she's trying to give herself every opportunity here. Just a little drift down to 2, but didn't have to steer.
Oh, she brushes the wall going into 4. She's 200s back at this point.
The only problem is when you're offline a little, then even if you don't touch anything, you're in a frostier bit of the track.
Well, she's made up 400s at that point. That tap right there is not going to help her.
And she's steering a lot. Oh, and very late.
13.
100th in front, but where's the speed? 20-second speed needed, top 6 or 7.
Oh,
She's going to drop back. Anna Fernstedt is going to be in the medals here, unless there's a big turnaround. Anna Fernstedt is in the medals. Wow.
It's Sigulda. You never know what's going to happen. One little mistake compounds and just you go from 2nd to 7th.
So yesterday's race winner is the leader with 1 to go. Anna Fernstedt on target for her 3rd bronze medal, or potentially a 3rd silver. It depends.
Yeah, she missed the drive at the beginning of 11. Gets held up there and just comes over, taps that left wall, and then late out of 13. And that's just, yeah, she's almost off of her sled at that point.
And that 1/10 of a second misjudgment, then the whole ball of wool unravels.
Yeah.
You're just later. All right, Janine Flock of Austria. 3 gold medals, 1 silver medal, 2 bronze medals on this track. Does she come out with something today? Or does Kim Marmans get a 2nd consecutive win? Started 5:29 in the first heat. The 25th fastest starter, the fastest 1,300 meters later.
Looks like a good start. 28.
All right, 100th of a second faster.
Little tap into 4. So she's 500s back at this point.
She cannot afford any more mistakes. She rarely makes them here, trickling down the middle of the track.
11th fastest speed. A little late into 12.
It doesn't sound much, but it's better than we've seen in the last couple of sleds. Little late in 13, clean out of 14, pretty much.
She's working it in 15.
Speed's not there.
No.
She's not going to take the gold medal. The question is now, where does she end up? In the silver, in the bronze, 4th, 5th, 6th. Where is she at the line?
Oh.
4th at the line. She
Kim wins again.
Kim wins again.
Wow.
Silver for Anna Fernstedt and bronze for Amelia Coltman. Who had that on their lottery ticket?
Nobody.
Well, this is such a crazy racetrack, and in these conditions, it just got away from her. And with the frost making, really exaggerating every error. All right.
Yeah, I can see that height in 12. I think she brushes the wall. She does into 13. So that pushes her height late at the entry. And then out of 14 here, she looks like she's, and the sled breaks away to the right. And then you can see she just tries to will it over into 15 and just scrubs enough speed off.
Using all the tricks, dangling the leg in the air rather than touching the ice. But it wasn't enough. Kim Marmans from 4th place in the first heat, drove herself to victory again. On a deteriorating track, she was the cleanest of the lead group and vaulted forwards to take a second straight win. So 4 heats over 2 days. Kim Marmans came out on top yesterday and again today. Well, she was saying just how tiring it was going to be coming back and competing again, not training again on the second day, but absolutely giving it all 11 tenths. But she did it. Anna Fernstedt takes her 3rd career silver medal. Amelia Coltman with the bronze, and that is her 2nd bronze medal of her career. Janine Flock ahead of Hannah Neiser and Freya Tarbit, and Freya was 6th place that she was aiming for yesterday when she crashed out to 25th. Tabby Stoker moves up to 15th place, and Xiaodan and Li Yuqi swap positions in the middle of the field. Well, an awful lot to take away for the sliders, whether they had a good day at the office or a bad day at the office. And some of them didn't even get a second run today, and they will have plenty to think about before heading through the Christmas break into New Year. Well, there is your podium. Kim Marmans, Anna Fernstedt and Amelia Coltman. Well, Merry Christmas. Well, they are done. There's no team competition. They don't even have to worry about that. They might even venture a small spritzer this evening. Yes. Kim Marmans, the points leader from Janine Flock at the Christmas break, ahead of Jacka Pfeiffer and Hannah Neiser, with Anna Fernstedt in 5th and Tabby Stoker in 6th position. And so for about a week and a half, they can rest up, and then we head into the next World Cup campaign. 3 weeks in succession, Winterberg, St. and Altenburg after Christmas. And that is it for the women's skeleton. Men still have one more race. That will be tomorrow evening at 6 local, 1400 GMT. But tomorrow morning, we start our bobsleigh campaign. Tuffy will be back in duty with Team USA. We will be back at 10 local, 0800 GMT, 0300 Eastern for the monobob. Until then, from Tuffy Latour, Martin Haven and the IBSF TV crew here in Latvia, goodbye for now. We'll see you then.